now today we're going to talk about Brittany. Now the reason why I'm doing this video is my video it just reached 1.2k on YouTube, so that's why I'm doing this. Also, there have been a lot of comments on my YouTube page, so that's why I'm doing this as well. So basically, we're just going to talk about Brittany's evolution, how's the character evolved over the decades, Alvin her. So let's get into it. So let's start at the very beginning. Brittany was a character in the 1980s in the old cartoon series, and over that period of time, she's evolved and changed as a character in the 80s. Like, you can see it significantly, like she's changed over the years. And also in the live action movies as well, she has, more cute wow factor to her, more stylish, more development character in her, which we'll talk about later on, more everything in her. And she's just a really great character. So Brittany in the Squiggle, she appeared in the Squiggle, of course, is a really great character. In the new series, she and her sisters appear in that show as well. And I gotta say, I don't really like the designs of the Chipettes. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't like them. They're losing that cute wow factor to them, which makes the Chipettes stand out more than the Chipmunks, because you're thinking, why are the Chipmunks so attractive in human form and the Chipettes aren't? It's just a bit weird. But out of all the characters, out of all the main six, we talked about how characters are dropping down, everything's going era with the series, but out of all the characters, Brittany is the only one that's making this franchise still stronger than ever. So I think we need to give credit to that. I wish they gave Brittany more credit a lot, because she's just a really phenomenal character, and the way they've changed Brittany and evolved her through this series and all the other things she's appeared in is a fantastic way to commemorate that. But I feel like Brittany needs some credit, because all the characters are dropping now. Like I said, I don't think she's the only one that's not dropping now just yet, which is a very interesting conversation that we're gonna have. So Brittany hasn't really changed. I mean, they gave her some really cool things. Like, she's still the same person we know from the 80s. They just updated her. So I like the fact in the series she has more responsibility and more maturity. That's something that the 80s Brittany was lacking. And yeah, she's still the same Brittany. She's still a princess at heart. She's vain. She's very sassy, very egotistical. She still has that. And there's some episodes indicating that she still is waiting on her sisters, like in the 80s Brittany did as well. In the show, Brittany and Alvin, when it comes to scenes with Brittany and Alvin, I find their interactions very interesting to watch. Not because they're my favorites, but just the dialogue between the two is very fascinating for me to watch as well. So I think Alvin and Brittany in the 80s, I think they've progressed over time in the series, and I like that they're interacting a little bit more than the 80s. They kind of did, but not at the extent like this. But when when Alvin or when Brittany's appeared against Alvin, it's, everyone tries to stand up to Alvin and none of them come too close. Like, I think Simon can to a degree, but Brittany is the only one that can stand on ground with him. And every time when Alvin asks something for her, it's kind of funny. Brittany is one of those feminist, badass, tough characters that I love, because I see that in myself sometimes. But when she's pinned against Alvin, or when Alvin asks her something, she's like, no, I will not do that. And that's kind of Brittany standing her ground, because she is a feminist character, and you gotta remember that. And yeah, to Brittany's credit, we'll talk about Alvin and Brittany later on, but I just want to say that the interaction between the both of them is very interesting for me to watch as a dialogue thing. Overall, Brittany is a really great character. Like, she's sassy, like I said before, stylish. She's kind of a rebel, I know I was going to say I'll talk about the Alvin and Brittany stuff later on, but we'll get to that later on. And she's done a couple of badass things, like, in the 80s, she was on the football team with Alvin, and I think Alvin gave her a run for his money, or gave her a run for his money, as the saying goes. But I will say this, it has taken a long time for Brittany to do something badass in this series, I must say, and we're only up to season 5, and they're very slow on episodes, like I said before, so they gotta get their act together. But anyway, I don't know if you count skateboarding as a feminist or badass thing to do, but I would just accept it because it's who she is. And I think they're trying to make Eleanor a feminist character, but I don't think it's working out. But Brittany is a feminist character, so I think they should do more with her doing badass things, you know, kick-assing. I would love that for Brittany because she's just one of those characters that you can just, you know, do anything with. And it's a shame that she's not getting there as we hoped. So, yeah, so back to Alvin and Brittany. Like I said before, they're both have the same personality, but they're very different and they're mostly similar. So that's why I think they kind of tick each other off sometimes, and I do a lot because they do have a love-hate relationship together. So yeah, so one minute they're like friends, all the term is, and the next they're fighting and pulling each other's hair out. So that would have been fun. Not really, but it's fun for us. It's entertaining for us. So let's just say that. But yeah, if like Brittany, I will say this, Brittany is not a prototype, but she's kind of based off let's just say a female Alvin, because Alvin back in those days before the Chipettes were created, he was kind of like, and his brothers were like dressed up in girls' clothes, let's just say that. But like I said, you know, the both of them have come such a long way, and I'm hoping the series does them justice, kind of. I'm not hoping, I've lost hope in the series, but hopefully it comes to that. And, you know, Alvin and Brittany, it's an interesting dynamic. People say, does Brittany hate Alvin? No, I don't think so. I think she's just tough. You know, they're both tough nuts to crack, to be honest. But I think, like, you know, like, Brittany can be all those personality things, but she has a good heart. Like, I really genuinely think she has a really she's really, oh my God. So, she has a really good, kind heart and soul. She is, you know, she has I think Brittany's very compassionate and towards, you know, her sisters and Alvin, whether it be a relationship or not, you know, and, you know, maybe she does care for Alvin. We don't know. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes between the two of them, and maybe she does care. But I think, you know, it's interesting, like, Brittany does get angry a lot as a character, and, you know, I think people are scared of her. I think sometimes her sisters, Alvin, Simon, Theodore, kind of scared of her temper, because she does have a temper sometimes with them. But yeah, but Brittany, I love Brittany as a character. She's a very badass character, you know, very interesting character to play with. Hopefully they play with her more, because you can do a lot with Brittany. You can put her in situations and she'll just, you know, hit someone or punch someone in the face. I would love that, but I don't think this is a show to do it. But yeah, but I'm hoping little girls watch this and say, oh, cool, you know, you got a feminist character like Brittany, sorry about that, feminist character like Brittany, and I hope someday, you know, that will inspire me. So I'm hoping girls are watching this and say, hey, you know, because Alvin's for boys, but Brittany is for girls. So I'm hoping girls are watching this and saying, oh, wow, you know, she's a cool character, you know. But yeah, but that's all I got time for. Make sure to subscribe to Miller's Big Video for more stuff. And also check out my other videos of Alvin Chipmunks content if you're interested.